Hey everyone, welcome back to SG Carmart Reviews, and today we are driving the R8. Supposedly the last R8, except that was what I said about the previous one that I drove. So there is a new last one. So this one is dubbed the R8 Performance. What's different? Let's take a closer look. Now, before we get to review, did you know that you could be losing up to $5,000 in value when you trade in your car? So if you're thinking about buying something like this R8, why not try selling your car with Coates instead? Coates uses its network of dealers to get you the best price possible. In fact, they're so confident on getting you the best price, if you sell your car for a higher price, they'll give you $100. Don't just take our word for it, look at the hundreds of raving reviews on their website. To find out more, visit coates.com.sg, that's QUOTZ.com.sg. Now, back to the review. Now first, let's talk design. So this is an R8, right? You're not going to mistake this for anything else, and I think it looks really good. So this is the second gen model, so you have the much sharper, more angular design. And on this performance variant, there's not particularly much different from your standard model. It still looks fantastic. It looks like an R8. What more can you ask for? Now, at the back of the car, again, it's very familiar, right? So you have your two massive tailpipes, your big diffuser over here, and we have a spoiler that can be activated. Overall, it still looks like what you want your exotic two-door sports car to look like. Now let's go check out the boot. Now we're back again in the front of the car. Because this is a mid-engine car, therefore the boot space is down here in the front. How big is it?
I don't know.
If you're driving a sports car, do you care about boot space? But it's a space, and it's actually quite big for a two-door sports car. But all this is irrelevant. Let's go check out the inside of the car. The Audi R8 Performance is priced at $771,000. The 5.2-litre V10 engine produces 562 brake horsepower and 550 Nm of torque. The 7-speed S-tronic transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km/h in 3.7 seconds. The car has a claimed fuel consumption of 7.8 km per litre. For more details on the Audi R8 Performance or any other car, head on to sgcarmart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car. Now, inside the R8, it is quite classy Audi fare, right? So you have your digital instrument cluster, and you have no infotainment screen. Everything is done in here, and actually I think it's really well done. So it's very easy to control. You can either use your steering mounted controls, or you can do it over here in the center console, and everything's very sensibly laid out, very easy to use, and I really like it. Now, for a two-seat sports car, I think it's actually quite well equipped. So we have a wireless charging pad, we have USB-A ports, we have heated seats, you have this Bang & Olufsen surround sound system with speakers in the headrest. It feels quite luxurious. I know that's something weird to say about a sports car, but it really does. It feels comfortable. You could sit in here for a long time. It doesn't feel cramped in any way. There's a little bit of extra space here. There's a shelf here. There's a little bit of netting here. You can put some stuff here. Even two cup holders. So, quite a generous space in terms of comfort and luxury. And I really think it's very nice. I really like that. But again, all of this is kind of irrelevant, right? The most important thing about a car like that is how it feels on the road. So let's go drive this car. Now, with the R8, you're getting quite a classic sports car recipe. So you have a big naturally aspirated engine behind your head, power is sent straight to the rear wheels, and in this particular performance variant, you're getting a little bit more performance as well, as the name would suggest. So here we have 562 brake horsepower, 550 Nm of torque, and while it's quick, so 0 to 100, 3.7 seconds, I must say in today's sort of supercar climate, it's not particularly quick. So to give you some idea, a modern M3 is basically as fast, and actually Audi's baby RS3 is basically as fast in a straight line as well. But with a car like an R8, really straight line pace is kinda besides the point. With a car like this, you want to really do one thing, and that's to do this. That's a soundtrack to die for, man. That is a beautiful, beautiful soundtrack. So get this engine above 5,000 RPM and it just absolutely sings. And you know, in this age of turbo engines, hybrid engines, this feels different. This is special because it's naturally aspirated. It's just about making a ton of noise, and it makes a really, really nice noise. So yeah, it's really all about that oral experience. This being a rear-wheel drive model, this also does feel a little bit more dynamic, right? So the front end feels a little bit lighter, it feels a little bit keener in corners, but again, people buying R8s, unless you're going to the track, you're not really going to feel that difference. It's really all about that soundtrack, and it's a lovely, lovely soundtrack. Now, as far as how it feels on the road, I must say this is actually a bit more on the comfortable side compared to what you normally expect from a two-door supercar, right? It's quite forgiving over bumps, you know, in its comfort auto setting. It's quite nice, it eats up bumps in the roads quite well. And, you know, it could serve as a cruiser, right? It feels comfortable enough to do long distances in this, you know, and it's not particularly intimidating to drive as well. So I must say, for a supercar, it is fairly approachable. So the Audi R8 performance, is it a will buy, won't buy, or go try? Unsurprisingly, this is a will buy. Look, I'll be very honest, this is far from the best supercar money can buy, right? I mean, it's a lot of money, but you know, cars in this segment are all super expensive, and you know, it's not for most people, but if you have the money, of course, good for you. But in this current climate of, like, you know, your 700, 800 brake horsepower, turbo, hybrid supercars, the Audi does fall behind in terms of performance, and I would say in terms of its dynamic capability as well. There are more dynamic supercars out there. But fundamentally, this car, underneath this nice, pretty shell, is 7 years old already, right? The second generation model was launched in 2015. So I think it's perhaps unsurprising that this one feels a little bit old-fashioned in a way. But I think that's really why it's so appealing, right? And it's really all because of that engine. So where else are you going to find a naturally aspirated V10 5.2 litre engine? Only other answer is a Huracan, which is fundamentally the same car underneath, right? So if you wanted this kind of oral experience, there's really nothing quite like an R8. Of course, the second thing to think about if you're really considering buying a car like this is that more than just buying a sports car, a supercar, you're buying a piece of history, right? So this is, according to Audi, the last one that they're going to make. So, you know, they've announced that they're going to cease production of the R8 in 2023, and they've announced a GT variant, like limited edition, last of the last 333 in the world kind of thing. But yeah, if this is the end, this is a great way to go. And this is a car that is all about celebrating and embracing that kind of old-fashioned automotive feeling of, you know, just a big engine, put your foot down and just go crazy. And I love that about this car, right? It's of course not super practical, but it's real, it's exciting, and that's really what you want from the very, very last R8, or at least the last R8 until Audi announces another last R8. But yeah, with the R8, it's all about doing this. So thanks for watching our review of the Audi R8. So do remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Especially those of you watching who are not yet subscribed, please subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you will be alerted of all our upcoming videos as well. We're also on TikTok, so follow us at SG Carmart. So that's all I have for today. I'll see you soon. Bye! Oh, one more thing. Merry Christmas! Oh my god, I look f***ing ridiculous. No, don't be crazy. What do you mean before I start sweating? I'm already sweating. Who cares about the boot?